Hello everybody and welcome to International Racing League. It's myself, Zebby, on your commentary mic here tonight for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. It's a bit delayed start for us to get going as drivers are already out on the track. We're here at round 8 and it's going to be myself, Zebby, on your commentary mic tonight to take you all along through for an amazing Saudi Arabian Grand Prix here at the Jeddah Corniche circuit. It of course will be 18 minutes of qualifying. Out of over 7.5 minutes have already passed, so it's time for us to try and catch up with all the drivers who are yet to complete their flying lap. We are having a look at all these drivers. Meanwhile, ARL just completed their lap, finishing up P9, ending up P9 at the moment on those medium compound tires. So far the only driver who's on a medium compound tire in this race who has completed lap. What about Restiver then? Restiver in the Kick Sauber is on those soft compound tires. All these drivers now completing their first runs here in the quali session. It's going to be the Kick Sauber across that line now. Just only a few miles away now as across that line they go. It will be P5 for Restiver then. It's P5 for him. It's P5, 128.964. And let's have a look at the fastest time. So it's Chaz in the Haas, 127.998. Then of course the two Mercedes in P2 and 3 with a time of 128.424 and 128.443. Let's have a look at this. Quite a few drivers on a flying lap right now, and one of them, it is Sticky on those soft compound tires, trying to go across that line. Hasn't got a time on board so far, but this one is going to put him good enough for P4. That is going to be a top 4 for the Ferrari driver. Is the lone Ferrari from the 15 drivers on track, and it is amazing P4 for him so far, as we are just now going to be having a look at somebody else who will be on a flying lap as well. It could be one of the Red Bulls, but they are on an out lap. TKM, one of the first drivers to put a time on board tonight actually, but let's have a look at that as now drivers with 9.5 minutes remaining come out on track. They all pitted in to try and fit the tires they can. Actually, an interesting thing which I actually haven't seen in a long time leagues do here at IRL is the drivers having to use all 3 compound tires, which of course is not for all rounds, only for round 4 and round 7 at Shanghai and Bahrain Sakir. So it was a nice one, probably would have been at the previous round. Then in the final round in Miami, it'll be double points awarded for the top 10 drivers, which of course will be an amazing one as well, which last happened in real life Formula 1 back in 2014 for the Drivers' Championship. So now we're all focusing on here on the session. We have the McLaren driver Dave Norris. Davey boxes in, and there is another blue car, and that is the Alpine of Chuck Norris. There is 2 Norrises then. One seems to be Davey, the other is Chuck. So let's go. It is RTKM, one of the first drivers to put a time on board and one of the first drivers to put an improving lap than their previous one, but still it's not going to be enough, only good enough for P6 so far as it stands. Okay, then as we are having a look at now, still 3 drivers without a time on board, which is Gaming Infinity, Ash Tube, and Floyd Pink. So Ash Gaming Infinity not in the session maybe, or has been disqualified or some kind of thing. It doesn't say DNF, so not quite sure what exactly happened. Or they joined late in the qualifying session, which prevented them from taking part in the qualifying session. Meanwhile, the Alpine of Floyd Pink is flying right now. Well, as he just comes across that final corner now, he's got a few milliseconds until he could go across that finish line, but that is not going to be good enough though. Only ahead of Illuminati or Illuminati as it says. Apologies if I mispronounce some of you drivers' names tonight. That's one thing I sometimes struggle with, but let's forget that and get us going for this great session. 6 minutes, almost 7 minutes still remain in the session. Currently the time by fastest time from Chaz, it hasn't quite been beaten at all. Meanwhile, the McLaren of Illuminati now just comes across the final the first turn 1 and turn 2 exact corner where Max Verstappen and Oscar Piastri had an incident going into turn 1 tonight as well, so it's an interesting one. Still, these drivers still pushing though, and the likes of Illuminati. So the only driver who hasn't got a time on board, Floyd Pink, only ahead of the McLaren of Illuminati. But of course, then he's going to get a time and improve as well. So still 3 drivers in the session, still in 1:30s, and there is an improving. It's not an improving Norris. It is a Chuck Norris in P10. What about Floyd Pink? Then yes, he is, but he's not improving. Of course, he will be on an in-lap then to try and pit in to come back out again on the brand new set of soft tyres, of course, as there will be, interestingly, things from all these drivers. They all will be now. Just 5 minutes remain only. We're just getting towards the ending laps of the qualifying session, as we have now Ashtube on a flying lap as well, just trying to make their way across all the way they can, not improving. 5 seconds down, not quite sure if that was going to be the case, as the McLaren of Dave, it's not going to be of Dave, it will be of Illuminati, does improve by over 9/10, and that's going to still put him right behind his teammate in P10. Will he be? What about Ashtube then? He's not on in. He's definitely is beginning just his flying lap right now. But what about his teammate then? He's far away to be starting a loop racer. Currently on an invalidated lap. Of course, would want this. He would want. I'm sure he wouldn't have invalidated this lap around the final corner, but he just comes back in. He's got full 100% battery, almost hits the wall there. That was quite close. But what about the Williams of Chuck Norris then, as he's just making his way around the final DRS zone and into the final corner now. He's just got the famous ball very close to it, actually far away from being close, but as it stands, he might just be beginning his flying lap as well. Just do one out lap and another one to really warm your tyres up, to really get the tyres up to temperature. And just 4 minutes now remaining. It could go all to the wire now. Will it be Chaz taking pole for pole position, or will it be Bon de Bo or to be in on pole as well? Will the Mercedes team will be able to do the front row lockout right now, or are we going to see anybody else improve from the top 5, top 6 drivers to do what they can and really get the maximum of performance from their car, as Ashtube, one of the drivers, on a flying lap right now, as well as the Red Bull and a McLaren on. Oh, that was very close. That is going to be very close then, and that is lap ruined for Ashtube there. That got quite messy, and he will not be happy about that. And yes, he's straight heads into the pits there. It was with the Ferrari of Sticky, Sticky into the final corner. Couldn't quite get out of the way, and that definitely ruined it for Ashtube, as he straight heads into the pits now. He's going to do all he can to now recover up in the final minutes and really try and do all he can on a brand new set of soft tires, if he has got one. But that could have been very nasty. Still lucky enough for him to really both of them not make contact, but let's still see what they can. There are many cars out on track. There are many cars out on track, some of them now making their way around the final finish line as well, starting their laps as well. It's going to be Rastuwer starting their lap as well. So many drivers, of course, they're all there to do what they can, and Chaz now in the Haas still seems to be the quickest. Nobody else really closer, or nobody in fact in those 127s so far. What about TKM though? Can he do something about it? TKM 21, can he do a lap good enough? 21 somewhat 21 of the time better than his previous lap. He sure can do almost about 1.9 tenths, but only good enough for P7 as well. And if I'm not wrong, he did not improve by position, only improved by time though. And we've got the times. Meanwhile, Sticky going up to P4 then. Still there, the same position that he was before this lap, so he's got a time to beat as well as... Now we just end into the final minute and a half in this qualifying session. Hope you all watching so far are enjoying all the action packed here at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix here in the qualifying session. I'm sure all of it will be amazing as we get going racing for 25 laps here around Jeddah Corniche circuit. What about some of the drivers who are on a flying lap? Meanwhile, what about Resweer then in the kick Sauber across that finish line? He does improve by over 2 tenths, but doesn't improve by position. Still stays P8, was P8. And what about the Alpine of Floyd Pink? He seems to be trying to do all he can as well, and he will be on his way. He sure would have wanted Resweer to get out of his way. I'm sure Resweer did as well. As we're going to see him go around these quick corners, as these are very punishable corners as well if you make mistakes. What about Dave Norris then? He's on just beginning his flying lap, and meanwhile the pole position driver, the driver on pole, the driver quickest of them all so far, Chaz in the Haas, still on pole position, and he just begins his flying lap, and I believe that's his second one, and the one that he did. And oh, what an improvement. Lone Star improving as well. It shows purple in the middle sector, unless anybody else could beat it as well. Meanwhile, the Ferrari of Sticky heads into the pits, and Loop Racer has crashed out in qualifying as TKM making his way around those yellow flags, as Lone Star will get his way, as the Red Bull of TKM get out of his way. What about Lone Star in the Mercedes now? He's got all the time to beat the pole position time. Can he do it though? Only time will tell. And across that finish line, yes, he beats it though. He goes pole and takes pole position by almost a tenth. And let's have a look at that. Can anybody else take him though? As Lone Star has went on to pole position and has taken the checkered flag. Can anybody else catch on though? What about the Sauber? He gets off the way as the driver's improving now. Chaz, what about him then? He's going to try all he can do though, as he's just going to be making his way. But before that, we're going to see what Dave Norris can do though. Dave is going to be across that line. He's improving by quite a bit, but not enough. Only P9 for the McLaren driver then. Only good enough for that much. What about the Alpine? And it's going to be the Alpine of ARL. He's improving by over 1.2 seconds, but will it be enough though? Does he get any closer to his teammate who has taken the checkered flag? And yes, he does, and goes P3. What a lap from him though. P3, what a lap. Meanwhile, Eshtube goes pole. He takes pole position. What about Cheston? Can he improve on his previous time? No, he cannot. He doesn't improve, and that's going to put him to P3. And Eshtube in the end, remember his lap being ruined by the Ferrari driver, but he comes back with it, and he comes back with a bang as he takes pole here at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. And he goes fastest of them all, and what a qualifying session. Only 5,000th of a second, 0.005 of a second Eshtube takes pole position from, and that is an amazing end to a qualifying session. Remember, Eshtube was at the back, along with not at the back, he was still in the top 6 or 7, and all the others as well. ARL in the Alpine did a decent enough lap time to be P5 as well. So now in the Ferrari, Chaz has got to do some work tonight to try and get back in the top 1, but an absolute amazing one. Okay, so everybody did their lap apart from Game Infinity, who retired out of the session as I believe, so they want to be starting from the back of the grid. But sure, what a lap that was from Eshtube. Let's talk about that. What do you all think? How good that lap was, really? Has anybody else got the answer in the race? I'm sure many drivers will. We'll see what they can. Of course, strategy plays out a lot of role as well, but in the qualifying and a lap that was required from him to complete, he's really done it though. So all the drivers, of course, AJ, LS, and most of them all thinking that they've lost time because of a car crashing, of course. Remember, there was another RB teammate of Ashtube who did end up crashing, actually. So definitely that could have been a problem for them and for maybe one or other driver as well. Definitely they can do all they want, but sure, now they've got the race to do. Now they've got the race to work through on, because they could not get what they wanted from qualifying. But you never know. It's Saudi, and we are definitely getting a safety car though. So we will just be beginning at 9:03 as it stands. It's 8:59 so far, so just 4 minutes of it. We'll just take a break of a few minutes, which is just going to end up being 3 minutes before we get started for the race and get going for all of you watching and get the action started and get the action-packed race here at Saudi to be the best around here. Apologies about that. The screen disappeared for a little bit, but we are back on the correct channel now so far. So that is going to be absolutely amazing and a great end to qualifying. And now we're very excited to get things started for an amazing race here at Saudi as well. 25 laps it will be, so it should be all action-packed. Strategy will play part, and it will also play a part of who can keep it on track and who cannot. Of course, here at Saudi, it's always punishing, just like any other street circuit. You make a mistake and you will be awarded with either being in the wall or running very wide, which is going to allow all the drivers and everyone behind to get up ahead of you. So sure, no gravel traps, of course. You don't see any gravel traps, a gravel trap at any other circuit apart from Albert Park in Melbourne, so we'll see what they can do. So the update about the driver crash, of course, the car doesn't always get out of the way straight away. Sometimes it's there, maybe, I'm sure it must have gusted, but obviously it catches you off guard and you have to slow down, thinking that you might end up crashing into the car ahead to try and save them and everybody and yourself as well. So it's really gonna be a part. Only a minute remains now before we get Only a minute remains before we get started for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, and we have 5 red lights to go racing here at Jeddah Corniche circuit. It is time now, it is time, and it is 1:03, and that we go, and looks like there will be no formation lap, as already we are going through for 5 red lights, and we go, racing here at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. It's a good start for Ashtub. It's a good start for Lone Star as well, as into turn one. They're going to be side by side, and it's going to be a big spin for Lone Star. He's just been tagged up by one of the drivers, and there is already a virtual safety car straight away. Will it move from the virtual to the full safety car? It's only a matter of time, but look at that. Straight away, there is problems and there is issues for other drivers, and it's Lone Star in the Mercedes. Starting in the top, he got a very good lap as well. Remember, his lap he's starting in second place, going into turn one together. I wonder if he was tagged up from somebody behind, or did he just lose it by making contact, as he's now P13. And let's have a look at that, and that is interesting. And the safety car is out. The safety car is out now on track. We already have a safety car, as we were just talking about, that we will have the safety car, and it is out already on lap 1. That is interesting. Meanwhile, Ashtub still leads ahead of Chaz, ahead of Bondebo and ARL. Then comes Sticky in P5 with Loop Racer, the driver who crashed in qualifying, I believe. And it is PRS TKM21 in P7 with Raswear in P8. Then it's Illuminati in P10. Then Floyd Pink in P10 it is for Floyd Pink in the top 10. P9 for Illuminati. P11 for Gaming Infinity, already into P11 starting. P15. P12 for JSC 89. And then Lone Star in P13. So Chuck Norris has crashed. So that could have been the cause of the safety car, because a lot of the drivers have crashed. And remember, look at that, Chuck Norris has ended up crashing out, and there are drivers pitting in, as we were just about to talk, how every driver is on different set of tyres, with some of them on hards, mediums and soft tyres on, as Chaz is now into the pits. And has he got a penalty? He might have, or in fact his car was just hanging there to try and let the Red Bull go through. Meanwhile, a whole front wing up from Dave Norris to Dave Norris's car, as one Norris out, the other Norris is there. Interesting, the car just vanished out. Not quite sure what exactly. Did he retire? Did he retire? He did not retire. Okay, there we go. His car bugged out of the way then, so nobody has pitted apart from TKN, Chaz, and Chuck Norris. Dave Norris. Chuck Norris is a name that comes to tongue quite smoothly, but there we go. As we will have now, so even the soft tire runners, Raswear and Illuminati, not choosing to pit despite a safety car on lap 1 now. The restart needs to be the best. The restart needs to be clean, as it was. Definitely the race start was not, but they all, I'm sure, drivers do not want to crash, and they want the best start they can get. One of the best starts, as sure they would want for themselves and for their teams as well. Definitely all those drivers starting on those soft tyres. Maybe they try and take these soft tyres long, but will it be a two-stopper race? We'll see though. Can the drivers on the hards take it through? Can they take it to the end? TKM and Chaz, we'll see what they can do though. Tyre management will be required, but for these remaining 25 laps, we'll get to see what all these drivers can do, because sure, mediums can do medium to hard, but I doubt the soft tire runners would be able to do soft to hard or soft to medium to get them to the end, unless they do super tire management to get their car to the end, which will be a struggle as well. So far, only one car out of this race. 14 remain out of the 15 starting. Chuck Norris in the Williams is out of it. Two drivers from the top 4 at the bottom then. Of course, Lone Star in P2, currently in P11 after a tagged turn 1 incident, and for Chaz as well, the similar incident for him. I'm not sure what exactly happened for him. He ended up pitting. I wonder if he tagged in somebody and crashed out or damaged front wing as well. Dave Norris did damage a front wing, so that was all issues. So we're on lap 3 out of 25 right now. Lap 3 out of 25 as we will get the safety car restart. We should be getting the safety car restart now at the end of it. So lap 4 should be the safety car restart. That then will mean will be 22 laps to the end, including the next one. We'll see what they can do, though. Definitely we want to see racing. Without seeing any racing so far, we have seen a safety car at the moment, but they've got the job to do. They've got the racing to go. I'm sure they all want to do that. They all want to be heroes in a turn 1, but I'm sure they now know that they don't need to be heroes in a turn 1 and be a lot bit careful, because as they say, to finish first you have to finish. So any place you want to finish, first you will need to finish the race, and we should be seeing the safety car coming in this lap notification as soon as the safety car and all these drivers enter into the final sector of the track. And there we go, the safety car will be in this lap. We are about to get the safety car restart and get going racing for the second time right now, as the safety car is going to go in this lap. Probably the overlay is bugged. It doesn't go off then. They're already side by side. The Mercedes is there trying to put pressure on Ash Tube, but then Ash is still there. He's not going for it so far. Still staying in first gear. They're nearly side by side. The Mercedes driver's on the shoulder of their RB and he's went for it. He's almost caught on the snapping, and look at that. Who's going to do the job? They can. Meanwhile, a lot of the drivers gaining positions as already Floyd Pink gains a position on Gaming Infinity. Then there's already drivers going into the pits. Meanwhile, JSC into turn 1 gains a position as well. He'll be into P10 and a position ahead of Lone Star then. Did he gain a position or not? But we will see. What can they do? And there's a safety car, and there is a crash, and there should be a safety car again, and he has crashed. And Loop Racer along with Chaz, not sure if Chaz pitted and retired in the pits though, because there was a car pitting in straight away after the safety car restart, but and another crash for Loop Racer. He's really stuck in a loop for Loop Racer, and he's really stuck in a loop here. Crashed in qualifying and now crashed in the race as well. The loop continued for him, and we've already got 3 drivers out of this race, and the second safety car already out within a span of 4 laps. Only turn 1 or a few corners, so we haven't been able to go to sector 2 so far. Okay, so it's not a full safety car, it is a virtual safety car. And there we go, it has went green. The virtual safety car has went green now, and the Mercedes driver has got a whole chance to do so. Meanwhile, Lone Star, one Mercedes driver fighting at the top, the other in the final position for the points, and around the outside goes Lone Star. He just makes the move for it. Meanwhile, Bonjo has got the fastest lap as well. Bonde has got the fastest lap as well. He's got it. Currently in second place now. ARL making moves as well. Qualified P5. He's got the job to do. And there's going to be Bone. He's going to try and go into turn 2. Or that corner. The corner. Landon Norris crashed in. And so did Pierre Gasly and Yuki Tsunoda tonight. And finally we've got through the first sector. Or have we? We haven't quite done so. At least the leader have done so far. And definitely the Mercedes of Bondebo is looking quick so far. He definitely will be looking and will be on his way to do all he can to get Ashtube all the way up. Remember, it was the fight between the Mercedes drivers and Chance, who's retiring out of the race, and it was Ashtube with a final moments lap, almost like Max Verstappen at Japan and Saudi. Though that really was the lap that he did and couldn't quite convert it in the race. Then they're really side by side. Let's have a look at the other parts of the track. Meanwhile, Lone Star is already making moves and he's making statements at the moment so far. He's already into P8 trying to recover, and the road to recovery seems to be on for him. He will be there, and he is there, as he's going to be switching to the inside line already, as there will be move from the Red Bull driver as well. Lone Star doesn't quite go for the move. Will he go for two in a row? We'll see, as JSC and Dave are fighting as well. There is many moves coming up. It's going to be down the inside for the Mercedes driver. Into turn one, he's going to go round the outside. Ashtube's going to be there, and he's going to maintain it from outside to the inside. There's still going to be wheel to wheel though. Who's going to be late on the brakes? Do one of them back out? They both don't. They go into the corner now, into the left ender, all together and wheel to wheel, and they come out unscathed and not making contact. Ooh, what a lap, and what an action that was. They were side by side. Bondebo in the end has to back out for a moment. The Alpine driver thought for it, but he can't quite make it. And sure, the Mercedes driver knows that he's got time. He's got a long way in this race so far. He doesn't need to end it, just like the few drivers tonight have done so already. So they've got a job to do. And Lone Star already into P6. P6 really flying on these medium compound tires then. We're on lap 6. Meanwhile, Gaming Infinity makes a move on on Illuminati, I shall say, and the Red Bull of TKM as well will be on their way, as all of them get the DRS. Meanwhile, the Red Bull very closer to their McLaren now on the inside line. Before they get into the final corner now. Will it be the McLaren late on the brakes? Will it be the Red Bull late on the brakes? They're still wheel to wheel though. They are not going. Nobody has quite made the move yet. It will be the Red Bull who doesn't get the DRS. It will be the McLaren that gets the DRS, or do they both get the DRS? In fact, they both do get the DRS. And look at that. The racing is going all over now, and there is Bondebo has taken the race lead, and he leads the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix now. The lead has changed on lap 7 since the start, as ARL now not far behind the RB of Ashtube as well. Ash could try and do all he can to maybe try and get attack back on the Mercedes, or try and really defend, and there's a safety car, and that is big damage to the front wing, and so much debris that has caused the safety car. Then no front wing on Illuminati's McLaren, and I'm sure it could be time for some drivers doing pit stops as well, at least the soft tire runners. We'll see what they can do now. Meanwhile, Bondebo has taken the race lead. All of the drivers were making moves. Meanwhile, Sticky still stays there. Lone Star back in P5. He's back at the top and inside the top 5, and it's a good one for him as well, because now he's going to be able to get closer to the top 4 drivers, and when it's the restart, they'll all have the chance. They'll all do what they can. TKM in P7 in the McLaren, the Red Bull, Floyd Pink instead running inside the points, beats P8 for him. Dave Norris in P8, and there was JSC another in P10, Illuminati in P11 just outside the points, along with Rasuar, and Rasuar has pitted, in fact, for the hard compound tires, and there we go. Everybody now heads in. Do we see same tires from everybody, or do we see an offset from one another? All these, are they going to go? Anybody wants to go for a soft tire, maybe expect a late safety car and then go back on the mediums. And yes, it is. Ashtube is on the soft tires, or is he on the hards? Okay, he should be on the hard tires, I believe. It must have been a wrong camera or something, judgment. And there we go, yes. So some of them have not pitted as well. Meanwhile, Raswar then pitting on the previous lap. He's going to gain a few positions. What a exit for him. Pitting on the previous lap. Quite nice when he was at the back and gains a few positions. Then it is Only the top three, JSC in the Kick Sauber, along with TKM and Sticky, stay out so far. Meanwhile, Bon Debo, Ashtube, ARL, Lone Star, Gaming Infinity, and Restware all have pitted, along with Floyd Pink and Dave Norris as well. And definitely Illuminati would have to pit as well. I believe he was on soft compound tires, so now comes on the mediums to try and take these mediums to the end. Maybe try and do the laps they can on the tires. Try and do 17 laps on these mediums if they can, but I'm sure the medium tire runners so far, those who started on the mediums, would have anyways had a chance to try and pit now. But let's have a look at the details. Okay, so everybody in fact has pitted apart from the two drivers. Top three haven't pitted, but TKM doesn't need to pit again. If his tires are enough, if his hard tires have got enough, he can in the end go till the end on those tires. Apart from Sticky and JSC, both of them need to pit, as they of course have to change the tire and complete their mandatory pit stop. And look at that, Gaming Infinity 7 positions up than where he started. Floyd as well, he started outside the points, now 4 positions up on his time, and many it's now 3 drivers out. So nobody was out because of the when this safety car was called, but it was debris from the front wing of one of the McLarens that caused it, and Sticky now leads the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So definitely another change in the race lead. Hope you all so far are really watching in that. Apologies about that. Thank you so much for reminding. I believe it's my mouse for some reason. Yep, it is my mouse, in fact, really doing that, because it's got one of the faulty buttons, which really it doesn't fancy really. It gets pressed on its own basically, so apologies about that, and I might need to keep the stream on now to be having that, so we will need to keep the stream on. But there we go, stream on, I mean on stream on my phone. Usually I have it on my laptop, but I don't have it side by side tonight, so we've really got to keep it tonight, so in case there is black screen, we get to know. Hopefully it was not from a long time ago and you guys got to watch all the action there was. From these amazing drivers, the safety car is being called off. It should be coming in this lap. It should be heading into the pits this lap, I believe. The safety car. We should be getting a lap 10 restart. We'll get to see what they can do though. Does it stay out any other lap? I don't think so. But sure, we'll see what the safety car has in store for us. And definitely I need to be reminded to be keeping an eye. And there we go. The safety car will be in this lap, and it will be in for all of us to get going and for all of us to get started and go racing action here at Saudi one more time. And it's going to be the second safety car restart, one virtual safety car restart we got, and it's now going to be green flags racing for us, for all these drivers to get through. Oh, does he go? Does the Ferrari driver on 8-lap medium tyres go early or go late? He's going quite nicely though, on a pretty much perfect time so far. He's went forward the Ferrari as the Gaming Infinity is going to be making moves. Meanwhile, Lone Star is going to be there as well. Into turn 1 they all going to go. Alpine on the inside line, the LR, and he's going to be there. He's going to try and make the move as he can though. Can he do it? Ashtube has to back out along with Lone Star as well, but Ashtube is ahead of Lone Star. In fact, between the two Mercedes so far. Between the two Mercedes so far, and the overlay says safety car again, and there is penalties for Floyd Pink. 3-second time penalty, and this is a really annoying problem. Apologies everyone for that. It is. completely from my mouse. So we'll see what we can really do. Hopefully it doesn't occur any more time soon, and we get going and show you all the action and action-packed racing. Get it going so far. Hopefully it's running all good right now. We're just trying to catch the action, and look at that, and look at that. Really, so much action going on so far around the outside. JC, and there's going to be a crash, and it is Ashtube, the driver who was on pole, the driver who was on the way to take his driver on, and look at that. His chances of a victory are going to be in big trouble. And let's have a look at that. He really was, and I think JSC, he was not even going to be able to be in the race between these drivers, but he's just made it problems for them so far. And that's okay, it's not going to be a safety car, probably there was not damage, but going to be race over for Ashtube. Then sure, you never say never, it's never going to be over, but it could be problematic. Meanwhile, Sticky still leads ahead of everyone, and still TKM, who has pitted but is on old tires, so probably will need to pit. And it is the Mercedes. If all the top two ahead do end up pitting, it's going to be the two, and this will be Bondebo and Lone Star, and the Mercedes 1-2 along with some of the drivers. Meanwhile, Illuminati overtakes Floyd Pink and gets himself up into P8. We're trying to get most action with the drivers closer to each other, and it is going to be ARL close with these drivers. And there we go. Will ARL be able to overtake one of these drivers there, though? Will the Mercedes drivers go at each other? And sure they will. It's going to be on the inside line. Lone Star is going to send it on the inside line of his teammates, and he's going to take the race lead, and another race lead. And finally, he's back into race lead now, is Lone Star. He was, remember, an incident in a turn 1 was a problem for him, but he's there again one more time. He's got it so far. Okay, again, it's really flickering right now. Might have something's wrong with my mouse button, unfortunately, and there is a crash. There is a crash, everybody, as now it's another safety car. Meanwhile, JSC, after putting in trouble for the RB driver, he has got others out as well. There we go. Now only 10 drivers remain, and the activity in the pits has started, and those who had not pitted are going to be in the pit. And look at that, Sticky is opting for the safety car, and oh sorry, not the safety car, but the soft compound tires is Sticky on, really. Okay, on its own, and it's really on its own for some reason. The screen going black and back again, but there we go, and we are out there though. So far it is again a safety car. I've even lost count of how many safety cars we've really got on at the moment, only on lap 13, and minimum 3 safety cars we've had as far as I remember, and TKM still stays out. Does he think that he can go towards the end though? But we'll see what they can do. Definitely the turn 3 safety car problems here at Saudi are really all we have seen. Even in real life, it was a safety car because of that turn exact corner, and many drivers having problems here in the race tonight as well. Only 10 now remain. It's the 2 Alpines at the bottom of the table. P9 and 10 for ARL and Floyd Pink so far at this moment, along with Sticky in P8 and the Ferrari on the soft tyres. Only driver on the soft tyres so far, and also only of the 3 drivers that pitted four in fact have now pitted so far. So TKM now leads the Grand Prix, another new leader as well, but he's on 11 lap old hard tyres, so definitely he's got the speed stars of Mercedes behind him, Bondebo and Lone Star, along with Gaming Infinity. Remember, he retired out of the qualifying session. He retired out and without setting up a lap, so it was him who had to get back up, who had to do the performance that was going to put him somewhat at the top, and he's really got it so far, keeping it on between the tines and away from the walls. So far he's still in the top 4, and with TKM either pitting or his tires running out of grip, which is going to be of course required to go to the end and be in a better safe place. So this is going to be very amazing, and I think Gaming Infinity could well be on the podium. One Haas driver retired from the top positions, the other is on there, and the other is really going to be on there to do all he can for the team and give them all the action. And lap 14 out of 25, so if the safety car goes in this lap, we will be having a lap 15 restart, so that's going to be 11 laps to the end. But if we have the safety car restart on lap 16, that then is going to mean chunk. The Mercedes team, the Mercedes pairing looks quite strong so far, as they at the moment seem to be the faster, better and performers, unless Gaming Infinity could do something about it, because he in the Haas has done a very good job as well to be coming up in the top 4 from the back of the grid. He's got the performance to show, and he's quite done it so far, and he needs to finish the job right now. And the safety car will now be back in the pits. And the safety car will be in the pits, everybody. It's going to be another safety car restart and another driver that was not at the restart at previous times. And a new driver it's going to be, as the Red Bull driver has went for it. And quite early he did go for it though. But Lone Star's going to be there, as Lone Star's going to go down the inside of the Mercedes into turn 1. The Red Bull's going to try and back out. He's not going to back out at all. They almost make contact, but just enough. They come out unscathed and without any problems so far. They'll be there, and it's a Mercedes 1-2. They are keeping it there, and they have done it. As now, the Red Bulls have lost our position. The Red Bull driver has lost our position, and he might have made a mistake, or just making up contact with anybody though. He was very close into turn 1 and then into turn 3 as well, but yeah, that becomes the issue then. Lap 25 out, lap 15, safety car restart, and definitely all tyres not quite holding up as well. So that then has become the issue for the Red Bull driver. He definitely needed a pit, and he might as well now pit up for the soft compound tyre, or try and continue on. Maybe carry on those hard tyres
for a little bit longer, and definitely the safety car could end up coming up one more time. You never know though with how it actually has been so far in this race. 3 or 4 safety cars we've had, I believe, and it's a Mercedes 1-2 as Lone Star is ahead of Bon de Bo, his teammate with Gaming Infinity in P4. One Haas out of this race, the other inside the top 3. Meanwhile, Restiwer in P4 as well, as it's going to be Illuminati Dave in P5, and Illuminati now fighting the Ferrari of Sticky there into turn 1. They're going to go. We will be late on the brakes though. It will be Sticky late on the brakes. He really sticks on the brake pedal and gets it up ahead of the McLaren of Illuminati, and there we go. He really takes it smooth, and now ahead of those drivers. They're really going to do their job, and so far in the Ferrari, he's doing a decent job at the moment. ARL was in the top positions as well, I believe, before the safety car, but the pit stops might have not went his way, as he's going to be dropping out currently in P8 as well. Maybe the driver's up ahead. Meanwhile, again, they're going to be there in a new part of the track there. We haven't seen many overtakes around, as round the outside it's going to be, and the Ferrari's going to be again up ahead of the McLaren one more time. Sticky ahead of Dave Norris, and one more position up for Sticky, maybe in fact same position, and there is going to be problems or something. There is the loss of Illuminati, losing more positions. He might have made mistakes. We are finally going to avoid a safety car. With many incidents we've seen, any incident we see, we think there is going to be a safety car, but we avoid that. Meanwhile, 2 Alpine teammates in P7 and 8 are smoothly so far taking it all along. Meanwhile, the top 2 drivers and the 2 teammates are there. Oh, what a slide! A bit of a slide on the exit, a bit of a slide on the final corner for Lone Star then. Is that going to allow Bon de Bo to be closer to his teammate as Sticky gets the fastest lap? Meanwhile, it's going to be Restiwer into P1. He's going down the inside line. He overtakes not 1 but 2 cars, and he does it. The Ferrari of Sticky was arriving from behind, but he's done it on Gaming Infinity as well, on similar and same laps of hard tires as well. He's still done it, has Restiwer, and he's really done the job that he had to do tonight. I mean, still a long way to go though. He hasn't quite done the job 100%. He's in P3 so far, considering where he started and so far how he was in the race. At this moment, he's currently got it into P3. Definitely, he's not going to be taking that though, because of course that DRS is going to be there, and that is going to allow all the other drivers, as the Haas goes very wide, as the Haas of Infinity is going to go wide, and that's going to allow Ferrari driver Sticky to be up ahead of him. Down the outside, he's going to go and make the move in that DRS zone. Rear wing open and position switch as well. Into P4 goes the Ferrari of Sticky. And now with another DRS zone, and no DRS for the Kick-Sauber driver. As I was saying, that definitely DRS is going to be crucial. And another position gained for the Ferrari. He goes back into top 5, top 3, and it's going to be DRS now for the Kick-Sauber, for the Ferrari. And he's going to try and weave around and down the straight to save up this 3rd place. It's going to be interesting to see. He's not going to have his rear wing open though. Can he defend into turn 1? The Haas goes down the outside, down the inside. He's going to make the move. And now the race lead has changed as well, as Lone Star is in there and he's taking the race lead. He's into P1 against his teammate, both of the teammate drivers. The Mercedes teammates are at the top of their game so far. They have been ahead of everyone. We unfortunately didn't get to see what Chance could have done at the moment. I mean, he could have done a very good job at the top, or anything. He could have been a very good mix and a good competition for the drivers. And there we go, the Ferrari has pulled away. That the Ferrari has pulled away from the rest of them. 1.5 seconds now from the rest where to the Ferrari of Sticky, as Gaming Infinity losing out another position. It's not really having these hard tires anymore. For a moment Dave thought for it, but he couldn't quite go for it. Meanwhile Sticky then definitely going for that offset of hard soft compound tires towards the end. Has quite worked for it though. Meanwhile the McLaren of Dave is going to try and make the move. He can't quite do it though. Oh, in fact, or can he? Around round the outside. He's pushed into the wall, and definitely he made contact, unless it was a lag that saw us see him into the wall. And look at that. Now it's going to be Restuer having to struggle to try and defend. What about the two teammates then? They're going to be there. Again, Bondebo has taken the race lead, and it's going to be him again snatching that lead from his teammate. Meanwhile, both both Mercedes drivers are there. Meanwhile, look at this. Illuminati and TKM fighting for the final place, for the 9th place then on the grid, of course. Everybody gets a point here tonight with only 10 remaining, but they're all at it. Meanwhile, the two Alpine drivers kind of in their own lonely race. Meanwhile, ARL is pulling away from his teammate as it stands, as Dave is in P6, Infinity losing out, but still in P5, maintaining the top 5 position for him though, as it is Rastuer in P4 and Sticky in P3 at 2.4 seconds from Rastuer. Definitely newer soft tires. And the soft tires are at least good enough for 7 to 8 laps. It'll only depend for how long he can keep them though. Because at the moment, as it stands, he's done 6 laps on it, and at the end of it, it'll be 7 laps. But these soft tires don't last for too long. But I think these hard tires have been out there for a long time as well. Meanwhile, the fight for the 9th place is going to be between these drivers. It will be Illuminati and TKM round the outside between the drivers. And now will it be going? No. Will it be down the Illuminati or will it be TKM? And I think TKM here takes the position though, but it's going to be very lucky. And I think the McLaren driver could be very happy about it, as he's got the DRS. He might as well try and make the position and move into turn 1. Will he go though? He thought for it for a moment, but can't quite go for it. Meanwhile, the race leaders and the race leads still keep switching. Let's have a look at then. We will be going into this around at the end of this first sector, and now head into the middle sector. There is a DRS zone coming up a few corners up, but I don't think a move will be making sense around here for any of these drivers. But we are now on lap 20 out of 25, so 5 laps remaining after this one, 6 including this one, and now it's a really to the end, do what they can, and almost like you have the position, you might have to be finishing in that position. We'll see. With 10 drivers remaining, almost everyone pulling away from one another so far, but these two are close. These two are still close, so they are losing time to the top 3, but they are very close to each other. Then Dave has fallen out as well. Meanwhile, already, as we were saying that in turn 1 there was going to be a chance, and not quite though, as Bondebo has taken the race lead again, but definitely that has benefited Lone Star, as Lone Star is now going to get that rear wing open and get that DRS and go into turn 1, trying to overtake his teammate, and before they even get to the braking zone, he's going to be up ahead and a full car length ahead of his teammate. Now making the most of it, and there was then a yellow flag and a red, and there's a problem, and that is, look at that, as for one moment we focus on to the race top leaders to top 2 and the 2 teammates. There is problems, and it is Sticky, who's currently P4, and he's 4 back from P3 to P4. He's really made a mistake then in the turn 1, because nobody else, the gap was over 2.5 seconds, so definitely no other way he was going to be getting caught up by these drivers into single corner. So definitely the job then that explains was a problem, and TKM now gaining on the Alpine of Floyd Pink as well. 1.3 seconds between the drivers, and the top 2 are now far away. And look at that, and there we go. That's going to be now Gaming Infinity round the outside of Restuer. Restuer's going to try and defend, go deep into the corner. He does so though, but that's going to be the whole switcheroo for the Gaming Infinity. He can't quite make it work so far, but he might make it right now. Is he going to get that DRS? The Kickstarter is going to go try and defend the inside line, but he doesn't go enough on it. And going to on the inside line, it's going to be the Haas of him. Now, they all want to be going that. Does he want to go for that into turn 3? He definitely doesn't want to go that, because you can't really go 2 into 1 around that specific corner. Because they know, and we know, that if they do so, big chance of a safety car. So I'm sure third place is important, but it's not as important as not even finishing the race. So they could either wait for another time or just let it be how it is. And so far, lap 22 out of 25, it will be very close between the two teammates who could take the position and who could really do all they can so far as it stands. Lap 22 out of 25, as I said. We are now going to be getting closer, and look at that. The TKN is getting closer to Floyd Pink. Floyd trying to stay in the top 8 for as long as he can. He's really trying his best, but there is not going to be a lot. And there's a yellow flag. Not quite sure what happened though. Could have been Illuminati maybe. He's on 14 lap all medium tyres. Meanwhile, the top 2 are at it. So are these drivers then. That Sticky's soft tires are not going to be useful enough right now. Meanwhile, Lone Star's hard tires will be useful enough, along with the DRS that he's got. He's going to go down the inside and take the move and take that lead once again on lap 23, as now only 3 laps remain to the end of this race, and they've got to do a job. It could be anybody's race from the top 2. Sure, the others are far away. 8 seconds. And look at that, and look at this, into turn 1 they go. They're going to be there. Floyd Pink doesn't let TKM go for it though. He could have got close, but Floyd Pink went late on the brakes, and he let him go through there. Meanwhile now, ARL is going to be closer to Dave as well. Dave, remember, for one moment, was close enough to the top drivers for a moment, but he's not quite close enough right now. So definitely the medium tires, the 6 lap newer mediums of ARL are going to allow for him to get closer to Dave Norris in the McLaren, and definitely the Alpine driver will be there. One Alpine is being chased, the other is on the chase in this race. Meanwhile, the top 2 are again at their best, and they're almost going to do a replica of themselves though. Do they go for it? Does Bondebo go for it though? Doesn't he really want to take that DRS? He in fact does not, as he's going to be there. Meanwhile, ARL, and now Bondebo. He's going to lose out on it. He sure will, as it's going to be him in second place, but he's not going to get that DRS as well. Do none of them get DRS? That's interesting. Maybe one another didn't try to use. And look at that then. This is a good one, as this will be an interesting one as well. The fight for third and the final place on the podium will be there, and the fight for it will be on. And there is another yellow flag. I don't expect anything or any safety car, and there we go. Racing on his own, Illuminati has crashed out. He crashed out earlier as well, missing out a front wing change, and now he's got the time. Meanwhile, Floyd Pink has lost out to the McLaren, to the Red Bull, and Dave Norris has lost out to the Alpine as well. Meanwhile, Sticky now 3 seconds gap to ARL, so I don't think ARL's making those seconds within the 2 remaining laps, including this one as well. So sure, he's going to finish P5 Sticky, but definitely those medium soft tires were there for a few laps, but not enough. They're going to be all the final 3rd place position, and the final fight for the 3rd place will be on as well. But look at this. Sure, the Alpine driver was through on the McLaren, but that doesn't always mean that he's going to be he's going to stay there to the end. It'll be interesting. Almost brake checking. Did he brake check in there though? Trying to all defend him all he can, but he's going to get that DRS zone. He's going to get out that DRS. Will the McLaren to try and get closer to the Alpine, but doesn't quite happen though. I felt he almost braked him, or brake checked him in a way that was gonna have the McLaren to be really slowed down and slowing up there, and definitely Restware still keeping up ahead of Gaming Infinity, still keeping it up ahead, and himself into P3. A little bit of a slide maybe on the rear end, having done 17 laps on these. Our tires now very close. Definitely a bit of a mistake there was for the Kicksauber driver, and that has allowed Infinity to be closer. Is he going to go on the inside right now? Does he fancy a move around here? He doesn't quite do that so far. And we are on the final lap out of 25 laps here at the Jeddah Corniche circuit. It could be any of these drivers taking the race win. It could be any of these drivers. It could be Bundebo. It could be Lone Star. Could be from one of these Mercedes drivers though. They have continued on and took on 1-2 for the majority of the race after all these safety cars, and it is going to be Lone Star up ahead of Bundebo. Does Bundebo get that DRS? Is he going to be able to get closer and onto the line though? It's going to be Lone Star coming across that line now and win the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, and he takes victory here at round 8. What about for the fight for P3 as well? It's going to be penalty for Gaming Infinity, and that's going to allow Raspier to finish on the podium and in P3 now, and that's going to allow Sticky to finish up to P4 as well. Infinity pushed up back to P5. And now that's Dave, and everybody has taken the checkered flag. And quite an interesting race, a decent good race as well, apart from safety cars and drivers retiring out. It was nice drivers, nice moves from these drivers, and back and forth really by everyone. But they have done it. It's a front row, it's a 1-2 for Mercedes, and it's Lone Star at the top as he takes victory here at Saudi, and he takes win. Takes a victory for Mercedes. Hope you all watching did enjoy it all. Hope you're all watching did enjoy it. Apologies from those black screen issues, but I'll make sure those do not occur next time by if you ever see me around here. And that's the top two and the podium celebrations. 2 Mercedes and a Kicksauber, but there was almost a photo finish from those Mercedes drivers. 1 and 2 they finished, and it could have been Bundebo almost taking it as well, and that's a fantastic one from all these drivers. They all really give us the entertainment here around Saudi, and they've really got the job. And here is the finishing order. Maybe take screenshots if you want. And that then it is Lone Star ahead of his teammate Bundebo in P2. He took the fastest lap as well, did the Mercedes star and race winner Lone Star really, and it was Restiwer in P3, starting 9th and finishing P1. Sorry, finishing P3, starting 9th, and all the other drivers as well. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Hope you all watching enjoyed it and enjoyed the commentary as well. And if it is all goes good, catch you all next time. Not sure when, but I'm sure by the time. Take care, everybody. We are all towards the very end of the season as well here at ARL. It's myself, Zebby. It was my